my channel. I hope you guys are having a good Memorial Day weekend. So today's Sunday. We actually started this yesterday, so the intro to this and the outro, oop, what's going on? I'm going to be looking like a hot mess because it is what it is. Anyway, so we are going to be making a potting bench this weekend for our back patio, and we thought we would take you along. So if you want to check it out, keep watching. Just a little side note, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We just reached 500, so that is awesome. Thank you. But this project is being done very cheap and with a lot of scrap wood. My husband works at a lot of job sites, and so he has lots of opportunity to get scrap wood and stuff. So that is what we're using. We did try and leave the measurements the best we could in the description box, so check that out. But if you have any questions at all, just leave them in the comments and we will get back to them. We just thought it would be fun to show you. It's really cute. So stay tuned.
Okay, so this is essentially going to be the base or the foot. That is going to be the top, or what's underneath the base part of the bench. I'm just trying to find out the angle for these cross pieces. So I made a square, which gives me my depth and my height, and then I just lay this inside and trace the angles on the top and bottom, and this is just one side of the cross piece. The other cross is going to go across it, and then I can trace the top and the bottom and where it intersects with this one. Okay, just to show you, this is what the angle came out to with our my dimensions is actually at 35 degrees. That can change with any height or depth adjustment. So now you see I've mounted this first cross piece in the square. So I've actually used decking screws up here, which are going to stay in. I put 2 temporary screws to hold this down, because eventually I'm going to shift this board so it's centered with this. So now what I'm going to do is put this underneath it, make sure the top and bottom are lined up, and then I can take and trace out the middle part that I'm going to cut out. So I didn't just cut the cross pieces for one square, I cut all 4 of them the same length, the same angle, and now what I'm doing is tracing this. Once I got this cross piece with the other cuts, I'm going to trace it on one of these, and then I'll build the other side at the same time, so I'm not doing this one side at a time and changing the adjustment on the angle on the saw.
Okay, so the angle for the cross piece,
where they intersect,
is that
20 degrees.
20 degrees, exactly.
So now what I've done is I tipped it up and I backed out my temporary screws, so now this is essentially free, and what I'll do is I'll line it up, center it, not so much with the side pieces as I am the cross piece, because these side pieces, once I screw in these 2 cross pieces, I'll end up unscrewing this other side piece, and that'll be out of there. That'll be done. That'll be one side complete. Okay, so I'm making the frame for the lower shelf. It is total dimension 3'8" by 24, but keep in mind that when working with 2x4 material, that when I say 24 inches, it's from this end to this end. This piece is not 24 inches. You actually have to take off 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches, which equals 3 inches total. So the reason for this thickness on this frame is because it's just scrap wood. So I trimmed it down to this height, and then once I mount it on there, we'll put on the boards that go across.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to do one of these on both the front and the back, just to kind of square up the top, something to attach the top together, and then I'll do 2 stringers just like this for me to screw the boards in, because I'm going to run my boards lengthwise instead of this way. So for this top, or this piece and the base, I'm using leftover wood off of the job site. It was actually pine wood flooring, so it's tongue and groove. But you can use pretty much anything. Use 1x4 slats. You can use an entire sheet of plywood, and then face it with a little strip of pine around the edge. Just, it doesn't matter, do it like decking, use a 2x6, a bunch of 2x6s, so it's whatever you want to use. So day 2, I'm going to be doing the top part with the shelf, and then the back. I'm using 2 2x6s because that's what I had, and it's actually a lot cheaper to use 2 2x6s than it is to use a 2x12. I just have a couple of blocks left over from other parts, cut them, and I'm using those as cleats. I've screwed them into the sides of the 2x6s, and then I'm also going to be screwing those down to the table itself. Keep in mind, if there isn't something underneath it, you don't want to use a screw too long. Use a shorter screw coming up from the bottom side. So a PS or a follow-up, you can see I didn't put these all the way to the end. That's because eventually, after we get this assembled and the shelves on, then we're going to be doing this 1x pine material in a shiplap across the back. So I wanted to have enough room for this to go across the back. Okay, so as you can see, we've done the shelf and the back part. Shelf, I added the support because it was wavy, scrap wood. Did the 2 supports, cut them at a 45, and then they're screwed in top and bottom to support the shelf. yeah, the size of the shelf. This I did the same way I did the lower shelf. It's just a simple square frame, and like I had said before, you don't have to run pieces of wood side to side. You can do it front to back. This is just an example of front to back. 5-hour project with scrap wood, and I think so far I've got $40 in Lowe's lumber for the 4x4s and 2x6s, a couple 2x4s, and then use up whatever I had. So
okay, we are done. We're in our garage and it's a mess, but this is how it turned out and I love it. I'm so excited. So I'm going to end this video with this. I'm going to stain the potting bench and then stain the shiplap that's going to go on the back, and in the next video you'll see it all come together and then how I style it. So come back in a couple days to check that out. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more DIYs. So take care guys, see you later.